They put up the same holiday decorations every year. Things run a bit differently at the White House. Each year there's a totally different theme with the holiday decor. This year the theme is a timeless tradition. And joining us now with a look behind the scenes at the White House holiday scene is Laura Schwartz, former White House Director of Events back in the Clinton administration and author of Eat, Drink, and Succeed. Laura, how are you?
I am great, and trust me, there's a lot of eating, drinking, and succeeding going on at the White House until a few days ago. It's quite busy.
I'm sure. So take us back to your tenure in the White House, and what memories spring to mind about your experience during the holidays at the White House?
Oh, you know, we would put it together, and they still do today, like 6 to 8 months ahead of time, looking for the theme and try to bring in the families' personalities, as well as really realize there are going to be thousands and thousands of visitors coming through. My favorite part, though, was at the end of every holiday reception, which there were more than 20 during our time, over a few weeks' time, all the ushers and the butlers and the housekeepers, everybody came together and ate all the leftovers on the buffet in the state dining room. So it was our time to just have that camaraderie because we were all working really hard during those weeks, but we had a lot of time to celebrate and spend together.
You know, we saw a photo on Good Day Chicago the other day of Bill Zwecker, who had a chance to go to one of these receptions, and there's a picture of the First Lady and the President walking into the room, and I thought to myself, boy, that has to be difficult. 20-some receptions during the Christmas holidays, yet they appear at each one and have to appear to be really thrilled to be there, right?
They do. Now, they don't do photo lines like the Clintons would do and just stand for hours every day, sometimes twice a day at the receptions. But I was there on Friday, and it was their 19th reception, I believe, of the season, and then they flew to Hawaii right afterwards. They needed a break.
That's crazy. We have some pictures here we want to take a look at. And the first one is, what do we have there?
I tell you, this is the grand entrance. Now, the neat thing about this whole theme this year, I believe there are areas that we can all adapt into our holiday celebrations. Now, this is on the East Landing as the visitor enters the White House. It is the tree that's dedicated to the military. And around that tree are iPads, and you can write a letter to servicemen and women serving abroad, and they will get that through the USO.
That's
and,
great.
you know, what a great tradition. Maybe on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, you can have your kids put a note together, and yourselves as well, to the great servicemen and women serving us every day, no matter what holiday it might be.
That's a great idea. The next picture, snowmen in the East Garden, right?
They put up 56 snowmen in that East Garden, often called the Jackie Kennedy Onassis Garden. It's where she used to do teas with reporters. It was a sculpture garden during the Clinton administration. Really lovely sitting area, same exact size as the Rose Garden. This year it was filled with all of these great snowmen. Now, it should be known we can do this in our own homes and yards, but the White House has a big warehouse storage facility off-site, so they don't have to fit these into their attic or garage at the end of every holiday.
That's a great point.
But it looked great, especially since it's such a green Christmas right now out there.
Absolutely, especially there. Our next picture, you've got, these are just a display of the Christmas cards over the years, right?
Every year this goes on, no matter who's president. This never changes, no matter what the theme is. There are beautiful framed areas from the Christmas cards from holidays past. And it's always neat because the administration in office maybe only has one card so far, or 2 or 3. This was the Obama's 7th Christmas. But it's neat to see those of years past.
Oh, I'm sure. And then you have a picture of, is this called the Vermeil Room?
It's the Vermeil Room, which is a term for gold-plated silver. And in this room, they did vintage. They did everything vintage, from fabric trees to old little toys and lots of long needle pine. This actually used to be called the social room. And that's because, Corey, you have to go through this room to get to the women's bathroom. And so the women would congregate in there, and it was therefore then called the social room.
And how is it used today, mostly?
Today,
just at receptions like this?
You go right through to the bathroom.
Okay,
but it's a lovely room, and in there hangs beautiful portraits of the First Ladies, which are on display throughout the ground floor of the White House. On the state floor of the White House is where you see the presidential portraits.
I understand. Okay, next up, the China Room?
The China Room is not always on the public tour, but they open it up during the Christmas tours. This was decorated by Carolina Herrera, and it has 6 pine trees. You walk in there, and it's as if somebody's got a pine candle on all over the room. The scent is just incredible. And then Carolina Herrera also designed a really neat plaid material for the presents, and then use a, what is that, a blue bow, because the Obama's having new china, and it's reflected of the blue waters off the coast of Hawaii. So she carried that theme through, too, with the ribbons.
Big time. And then there's a shot of, let's see, what do we have here?
We were doing a little eating, drinking. That's my book.
Just happens to be there.
Yeah, my parents thought it'd be kind of fun to set my book over with the others. There's 2,700 books in that library. And as something special this year is they kind of decorated the different books by just wrapping them in gold and silver paper. So if you've got some extra books around at your house and you want to maybe make it look a little bit more festive, you can do that too.
It's a great idea. Is this the state dining room?
This is. That's where the buffet is. And center stage is a 4,000-piece gumball tree. And, you know, this is where the 6-foot teddy bear is in the Gingerbread House. So it's a great place to have some lamb chops and shrimp.
Okay, this is the Gingerbread House,
There
which is like, what,
is.
500 pounds or something like that?
500 pounds. It's 250 pounds of gingerbread, over 150 pounds of dark chocolate, 25 pounds of spun sugar. You can only imagine. They construct this downstairs in the China room, and then the operations guys help carry it through up the stairs more than the elevator, because some years it can't fit in the elevator.
That is fantastic. And
Gorgeous.
you're also nice enough to bring the actual official White House Christmas card with you. I'm not sure
Yes,
we have a close shot,
I feel like it. You know, we all should have one of these in our homes. But it was kind of neat how they did it this year with the cutout Capitol and Washington Monument and the Jefferson and Lincoln Memorials. There's a lot to Washington. So if you get a chance to go during the holidays or any time of the year, it's a great experience for the family.
Great stuff, Laura. It's really fun to get sort of a look behind the curtain, and I appreciate you coming by and sharing it with us.
Thanks, Corey. Happy
Okay.
holidays.
You too. Appreciate it. All right, coming up. It's looking less and less like we'll have that white Christmas we always talk about. Mark Strill comes back in a minute. He'll let us know just how warm it'll be.